Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this new series called Gupta. Not the Imperial Guptas, but the late Guptas, which they claim themselves to be the legitimate successor of the Imperial Guptas. Currently led by Thakur Rajkumar Ramagupta of Midville, which he also serves as the Chancellor to the Pala Kingdom. The reason why he's called Rajkumar because he's Rajkumar of Bihar, as he has the strong claim to Bihar, which he is a legitimate successor to it till the title was destroyed and Magadha changed hands. And he's been living there since 5 years old, basically living in exile at this point, until Dharmapala came onto the scene on his first day of his reign. And during the first month, he recognized the diplomatic talents, thus they appointed him to be the Chancellor, as he's currently in Magadha to improve relations. Which is rather precarious to be because Patliputra, the city that Ramagupta was born, is now occupied by the Ayodhya. There's plenty of more developments that'll be coming up during this episode, such as his eventual promotion to Pandit. So he will take a vow of celibacy, because I had enough children. Right, so, well, we will slowly make the money here, and hopefully just take advantage of local resources here, and continue to improve the buildings and structures such as council walls, and then eventually council towns that have even more tax income, so that way there'll be much less of a problem. I also have an ally, Thakur Rajka, part of the Chalda Raj. It feels like everyone is trying to trump me. My huntsman killed more prey than I. My counselors found a better solution to the rebellious peasants than mine, and I started to feel everyone was better than me, no matter what. If they are better than me, then I have to accept that. I'll be kind. Treating people nicely feels good. I have gained the kind trait. See? Good for you. 14 a month. So you'll be pandit by the end of this year. We're doing good there, as he's become stressed lately. He ain't stressed either, but yet he's the war winner. Clearly. Just keep making money and hopefully you'll create that Raj of Tirupati and you give it to me. Because that's my ambition. And when that ambition's complete, more prestige. Sorry that I'm not speaking too much, it's just I'm messing with something. Ah, here we go. Now it's time to be promoted to be a pandit. There, got that out of my mouth. I was just trying to get something out of my mouth and I did. No blood, okay. Honored Chatra Ramagupta, I hereby grant you the permission to advance in the next rank within the Advaita Matha. Signed Acharya Savaja. It is my privilege. I've decided to show my devotion to Brahma and by the order taking a vow of celibacy. Praise God. Now I don't need to have any more children. 2 is good enough for me. Chosen a life of celibacy, so this guarantees that I cannot impregnate my spouse anymore. The only thing you should be concerned about is your yearly earnings from the tanneries. While I'm in one of the more distant parts of my realm, like somewhere up in the foothills of the Himalayas, I've come across an ancient tombstone partly buried on the ground. On it etched are the words, "Remember me as you pass by. As you are now, so once I. As I am now, and so you'll be. Prepare for death and follow me. Alas, but we are dust and shadows." Then again, it can't be one of my Gupta ancestors because they've never governed this region up here. Unless if you want to think clearly, as I'm still in Magad trying to improve relations in Ayodhya occupied Magad, that one would think it's probably visiting the graves of my Gupta ancestors, which one day I will follow them. I will follow you, Father. I will follow you, Vishnu Gupta. And I will follow you, Devagupta, and to all the rest of you. I shall meet you all one day. Well, we can't guarantee that any of those souls actually are in heaven, unless they've been reincarnated to somebody else different, or something different, depending on the deeds that they've done. And who knows what Ramagupta, the soul of Ramagupta, who knows what the past life, what must have been like. Try not to think too hard about past lives. And I'm talking to you Western viewers who are non-Indian and non-Hindu. I mean, I don't have any Indian blood in me, nor am I a person who practices one of the forms of Hinduism, but I do study them to a degree. But of all the Indian faiths, as far as my knowledge is concerned, like how much do I know more? I know Sikhism. Okay, just hang on. I'm trying to say something here as I am looking away from the monitor. Sikhism is probably my least known of the Dharmic faiths. I haven't studied that much. And Buddhism is like third as far as how much do I know. Hinduism in all forms is second, but I know Jainism a lot more because I had an intense interest in Jainism back in 2019 before I studied the rest of them. But anyways, peace be upon you, Pandit Ramagupta. The Order and Brahma cares much for the souls of our members. As such, we would like to advise you to go on a pilgrimage, since you have not yet done so. Subhasti Pantana Santu. Pilgrimage, you say? About time. Go on a pilgrimage to one of the holy places of India. I have successfully improved relations with somebody. So I have to pay this amount of gold. Well, just wait for the next monthly income, and then I shall go. No, thank you. How about this? We'll go in April. Yeah, 55 gold. You just have roughly 50 gold. It's good enough. 55 ducats. April 1st. I shall do a pilgrimage to one of the holy sites of the Hindu faith, seeking enlightenment and purification. I will start making travel plans. There are many places a devout Hindu might visit during a pilgrimage. They will undoubtedly all offer enlightenment, but a closer location make for a safer journey. Let's see. Well, I'm an old man, so it would be best to do a safer location. I will go to the internal city of Varanasi to cleanse myself at the Ghats. So it'll be from there to Varanasi, which is the holy site of both Buddhists and Hindus. My dear Rajkumar, permit me to remind you of your obligations and duties as my sworn vassal. To form a conspiratorial faction would be a direct violation of these. I must ask you to your promise never to do so. Listen, boy. Win a war next time, and you had an infection. What did you do to wound yourself? If you die, then your brother Vakapala, your younger brother, who knows how to fight, but he's not a military man at heart, could destabilize the realm. But for me, I'll just, what he says about the conspiratorial factions, I'll say, oh, well, I wasn't planning on doing that anyway. I'm going to a pilgrimage. I'm going to Varanasi, so we'll discuss later. Matter of fact, listen, if you want to keep me improving relations, which bears nothing, and I've already mastered the arts of diplomacy, so I will actually resign on the council. Because I want to be back home here, where I currently live, but not in Magadiyat. Pleasant Spring. Good for planting and means plentiful food for livestock. That's why I decided to leave at this time. And so, I've packed my things and made preparations for my household to make do without me. It is time to set out for the ancient city of Varanasi. Soon, I shall cleanse my body in the Ganges, as generations have before me. My journey begins. Yes, Varanasi, the holiest of holies of the Hindu faith, I believe. Or Santana Dharma. And please take care of this while I'm gone. And you once embezzled, don't try it. Again, it's just going to be a safe journey from there to there. Despite the war going on. I mean, I am not hostile to them. Rivals. Just because I'm gone doesn't mean my spy master will still send me messages of what the heck you are doing. You've created a Raja Tirubukti. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Please, please, please. Anyways, a pilgrimage is as much as an inner adventure as it is a journey through the physical realm. As my goal ever grows closer, the people I meet and the places made me reflect and evaluate things I thought I knew about life. There's a 20% chance I might become a poet, or zealous, or a 10% chance I might become depressed, or nothing at all. So just reflect and evaluate things I knew about life. I am zealous. Unfortunately, that's too many traits, so one of them's gotta go. Hopefully get rid of shy, because I've been more active as of late. To the virtuous Thakur Ramagupta, your wisdom mercenary legendary, I have decided to grant you the Raj of Tirubukti in recognition of your service and your nobility of spirit. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj ki jai. That's in Hindi language, so I have no idea what is the equivalent of that in Bengali. Or, due to the relevancy of the local area, Bahari language, or ambition fulfilled. What's next? When is your birthday again? How about become Paragon of Enlightenment? So I strive to improve his karma and become enlightened, an inspiration to all of his faith. Get up to 2,000 karma, and you'll have +1 learning, 100 karma. You'll be known as the Wise, and the Hindu moral authority up. As I'm going on a pilgrimage. Also, one of the traits has to go. As I arrive at Varanasi, but before we talk about the holiest of holies here, I have recently read a touching story about a pure-hearted romance between a young man and a woman who had grown up as neighbors and friends. Their virtue and honesty has helped to ensure many hardships so they could be united in marriage. It was an adorable tale about true love. And I've picked up trusting. Okay, you gotta get rid of 2 traits now. Now, here we are. The Eternal City. At the confluence of the Varuna and the Acid lies one of the oldest cities of India, known by the names such as Varanasi, Kashi, or Banaras. This is also one of the holiest places in the world. For thousands of years, pilgrims have visited hundreds of temples and the many ghats that lead into the holy river Ganges. They've sought enlightenment and purification, or in some cases, to die in this place where salvation is guaranteed. Eager to perform my own cleansing, I approached the Dashasavamide Ghats, a set of stairs said to have been created to welcome Shiva by the Lord Brahma millennia ago. As I reflect on the Ganges, Krishna, and the cycle of rebirth, I believe it's time for a bath. So yes, a pulling intrigue. So again, that's too many traits because you picked up trusting. So you got rid of the kind trait, which lowered the intrigue, but it's still 6 traits, so you still need to get rid of 1 more. Please let it be shy. There are people here from every corner of the world. Though we are united in reverence of this holy place, their languages, clothes, and even the people themselves seem exotic and different. Meeting and conversing with strangers is in itself an experience that will impact me more than the religious aspects of the pilgrimage itself. It's a small chance, but I must talk them all. Didn't pick up any. Watching. What other trait am I to lose? It would be funny if it's trusting, but I would much prefer to be shy, so I can have a best diplomacy skill. So that way I can not only be well learned, but also be the master of persuasion. I am home at last after my journey. I've learned new things, experienced the greatness of the faith, and met with interesting people. While it is good to be home, I am confident I will always remember this trip very fondly. A great experience. As you can see, he's a pilgrim now. Peace be upon you, Pandit Ramagupta. We are glad you are here, that you have performed a pilgrimage in the name of our faith. Signed, Guru Adiraja. Even though you're an embarrassed believer. Come on, you've got some time. What you got there? Brahmanas. Alright. It was a journey of a lifetime. I lost my patience. Patience was a good trait to have. There are ways to get rid of shy. Advaita was happy to oblige me. Now it's time to spend with her. I'm confident I can convince her how alike we are and that she stands only to gain from our friendship. I can finally talk in private. Also, by the way, since I'm zealous now, I don't think he's gonna like that the fact that I am, zealous to the Sanatana Dharma faith. I think these days have really helped me Leilavati to know and appreciate me better. We spend most of our time visiting my domain, discussing the most depraved topics. I was happy to have you here. We're both content, But I don't think I should be swaying my wife anymore since I'm a celibate. Should be swaying with the Maharaj, so just to make sure he doesn't plot against me. Sometimes it is the simple, endearing stories that affect us the most. Just a simple love story. It doesn't hurt anyone. Oh, not again. Have to pay it, because I want to keep this thing around. And maybe one day we'll get double the income. It happens sometimes. At least I don't have to pay a loan for it. See? Got the money back, thanks to the tannery. It was a disaster here, but things are still running normal there. Save it up for castle walls. While I am not switching my business focus until they tell me to switch to theology. Religious debate in the council. Today, while I was at the council meeting, an argument about a religious matter is being discussed arose. One of the council members opposed my reasoning and boldly challenged my point of view. I simply cannot order everyone around because I want. To have credibility, I need to conquer the people's hearts. I need to win the debate. It's my spy master friend, Rajat Singha, the spy master. Oh dear. Let's see. It's religious debate, so this favors me already. Shy negatively influences, unfortunately. I have a high learning skill and trait. I am humble. Just looking back and forth. I'll debate it defensively. A cold stance. I looked coldly into my opponent's eyes and methodically diffused his arguments. I did this for a long time and always probing for a weakness in my opponent's reasoning. Always trying to take advantage of a mistake to improve my position. I'll wait for the definite mistake. This is likely going to end in a draw. The discussion lasted for a long time as my counselor attacked my arguments while I kept doing the same. In the end, using some guile and quickness of the mind, I prevailed. With a smart smile on my face, I faced everyone. My political prowess knows no equal. He just got embarrassed. An even higher diplomacy skill. Now you owe me a favor. Which I don't know what the heck would I want for a favor. But I'll definitely be around for the next 10 years. As Raja Ganesha grows up, as he seems to be leaning towards stewardship, which is fine. But I have an idea of what he's going to be like instead. I'm going to be told 1,000 devotion that I'll become a guru. But this is going to slow down the devotion game because I lost my kindness and patience. Instead, I've become more trusting. You know, I would much prefer to get rid of shy because that does nothing for the benefit. But, hey, at least you're a very diplomatic man. You could diffuse any situation, diffuse any argument that's out there. I was bored at home with nothing to do one day, so I decided to take a walk around when I overheard some muffled sounds coming from the room. I snuck over and opened the door slightly. I peeked inside. One of my maids and one of my manservants were making love in the throes of passion, oblivious to the world around them. Though young, they should know better. You won't have another trait. Let's see if give it another chance to get rid of one another. Are you willing to lower your intrigue? Because I'm thinking about picking up kind. I already have the 10. Tell them later they have my blessing. There it is. Now, pulling intrigue is what it does. It lowers your arrest chance, assassination, discovery, plot power. And replacing that, you've lost humble. Blast! All the good starting ones were almost gone. Nothing is fair, one would think. He's inherited Mugged. Got assassinated. Beware. You're vulnerable to any kind of plots that may be against you. That's the reason why I decided to improve upon. Yes, I remember. Slow improvement of the economy. War is almost over. There's a disease. It's camp fever. It started in Gandravipa. It started there, and now it's gone up to the capital of the Pala kingdom, and now it's moving up to the Brahmaputra area. Hope it doesn't come here, because camp fevers are notoriously widespreaders. Sometimes it could be widespread, sometimes it's localized. It varies. And you know my Chancellor's there, so I ought to get him back here. Don't want him to get sick. Oh, he already has. Because he's one of the talented ones. The book composed. Everyone knows I've spent several years directing the work on my book. When today I am presented with the final product, excellent. I commend my scribes while gently leaf through the Confessions of Rajkumar Ramagupta. This has been worth all the hard work. Let's take a look. But first, the Great Escape. My spy master came to me with suggests to help a foreign individual that has value for my future plans. He is being held in a foreign prison, and it seems he is in possession of valuable information about military, economy, and culture technologies that could provide an edge to my efforts. Well, let's try to rescue him, even though the intrigue isn't good. I'm not deceitful, I'm actually the opposite. But I could just say no to my friend and he's still gonna stick with me. But, just at least give it a try. Because, you know, the Rome intrigue is alright. Not good. Good thing I resigned my position as Chancellor. Didn't think that disease would be around here. Now, the book. Supposedly, this autobiographical work tells a moving tale of a young Rajkumar struggling with temptation. It also offers some advice on how to avoid and deal with such issues before it's too late. That's +2 learning and lowers 20% fertility, even though I'm already celibate. The rescue mission ended in disaster when the man we were rescuing was slain by an enemy agent as he was evading for the prison. Fortunately, some of my operatives paid with their life or their freedom during this attempt. This will possibly point to my own involvement in the rescue. Unfortunately. That's from the Thakur of Savanapura. Not too far from here. The chance of a form of the discoveries behind a rescue attempt depends for good or worse. The intrigue of the rule around the intrigue of the spy master. We're not rivals. Dharmapala has passed. The disease took him. No, he died of an infected wound. The combination of stress and an infection, it got him. He has a son. Hydro. Is it Hayo or Hydro? Or Hajo? Now he rules, but he has not shut the gates. He could be contracted that disease already. Meanwhile, with China already suffering unrest, a great Mongol lord has decided to exploit the situation has crossed into northern China. Will the fierce horsemen from the endless steppes manage to break the dragon's back? Most inauspicious. Chandranarayan. Good man. You shall be one of the commanders. Replacing some bad ones. Yes? Thanks, but no thanks, but I ain't going over there while there's a disease over there. And plus, I wouldn't contribute much if you shut those gates immediately. Where's Vakapala? Oh, he's the regent. Oh great, he's zealous. I'll see too if we can work together. It's in the works. Plus the war's about to be over. This pointless war and now disease dragged it down, and it doesn't appear to be spreading anymore. It's localized. Just mainly towards the northern direction. Fine by me. Oh man, what have they done to my city? There used to be war elephant pens, but the buildings got damaged, so they took it down. My birthplace of Button. A hostile agent operating in Samarapur was able to feel discontent of the local public against my rule. The stability in the province declines. We need to catch the bastard. There's a chance my spies discover who's behind his action. It is heavily modified by the realm Intrigue. Here we go. I don't like this because Intrigue is bad. Because I'm too nice, too trusting. Maybe perhaps I should take up Intrigue focus instead of business, since I've yet to do any business-related events that I couldn't be able to do because I was busy being a chancellor. Or a few other things. In fact, to become a sannyasi, it does not say anything about being deceitful. Do you know what? Take up spying. For the next 3 years, I'll take up the Intrigue focus. That's the new Beku. He's the chancellor here. The man who currently occupies my old job. Let's get to work on it. Not a good chance, but give it its due. I kind of want to get rid of that trusting and switch to deceitful, the exact opposite of trusting. Where you lose diplomacy but adds intrigue. I already have high enough diplomacy. It's okay to be deceitful if you wish to become a sannyasi. Good to know that the educator is... She needs to learn a couple of things. Nobody else bothered to declare war against them, whereas for this one... Down in dungeons. There it is, the war is lost. They pay war reparations. And the disease has not gone on anywhere else. And he has not shut the gates. Castle walls finished, so let's hope for a little more income. As well as the income from the tanneries. And if we get enough money, we'll build a castle town. That would most definitely help the tax income, where monetary shortages will no longer be an issue. Unless they tell me to donate to charity, which also helps with the devotion as well, if I wish to become a guru. Okay, let's try somebody else. The new owner of Magad. Let's have a look at this. I have received a letter from my fellow member of the Advaita Matha, Pujari Chand. Dear brother Ramagupta, will you, as the Eastern scholar as you are, please offer me some advice on my poetry, or the attempt of it? Reading through the attached documents, there are multiple verses, all in Brahma. I am missing the more comforting aspects of the faith. Peace be upon you, Pandit Ramagupta. The hectic life of a ruler rarely allows for sufficient time for contemplation. I ask of you to seclude yourself and think about the universe and your place in it. Awareness is the first step to freedom, Pandit. Subhasti Pantana Sant. Secluded meditation. Here it is. Rajkumar Ramagupta could seclude himself and meditate upon the life in the universe to come closer towards spiritual enlightenment. But first, I was beginning to think that Pujari-chan took offense to my comments, but today I received a new draft of his work. I'm surprised to find that his words really speak to me, scribbled in a margin that I can just make out. I implore you, brother, bear with me, it is not finished. I think the Advaita Matha will treasure these words. Gotta have more karma. Now, let's begin. Today my seclusion begins. I have selected a simple chamber in the castle where I will spend most of my time during the coming months. Within these bare walls I shall do my mantras, read the Mahabharata, and contemplate my life and actions. Vishnu shall be my companion. Let us hope. Father-in-law just died of depression. I am flattered that you think the Advaita Matha could benefit from my work. Pujari-chan writes in his letter, "Thank you for your support, brother." He continues, "Before ensure me the finishing touches, he intends to see to before the final version of the manuscript will enter the library. I am honored and surrounded by minds like Chand. So, we're close friends. He's from Jaunpur. Though he is a boring man, apparently, and a poet. I had a good look at her because I knew she is attractive, which she is. Shaktiist. Oh, what the? She's an assassin. Yipe. She's got 20 intrigue. Even though she's become content as of late. She must have been influenced by somebody else. Hey, do you mind if I have her? Because, if for some reason that if my wife gets killed or whatever, and then I marry this assassin and let her be my spy master, because together, I mean, you can't appoint any women unless it's your spouse. Well, here's an idea. Even though this may sound like a bad idea on a grand scheme of things, where you could tell her to, hey, divorce, but it's going to cost you. There are reasons. Unless the other alternative is to frame this character. And there's bad things, but I just do not have the skills for it. Not the intrigue, but I do have it for diplomacy. But it needs to be improved upon. But I'm rather intrigued by this assassin. When she hasn't killed anybody, maybe she's trained to be an assassin, but never killed a character before. But stop thinking about such things and meditate right now. Think of how peaceful the land is. I cannot make sense of this passage of the Mahabharata. The words are archaic and their meaning is deeply hidden by copious layers of symbolism. It would greatly benefit my spiritual development If I discovered a text essence on my own. Though at this point I would be better asking of my brother. I will figure this out on my own. There's an 68% chance that I will interpret the passage successfully, testament to the great understanding of Mahabharat, or fail to make sense of this. A true follower of the Four Purusarthas does not give up easily. I kept at it, reading the passage again and again. I compare it with the other holy texts and mulled it over the wording for hours at end. It went slowly. Every now and then I have uncovered a new piece of the puzzle. Then suddenly I saw it. Such elegance, such depth. I will carry this revelation with me until the day I die. The wisdom of Vishnu is infinite and indisputable. I interpreted successfully. 100 karma, and I become a erudite. Which, by the way, does it count? Hang on. Raja Ganesh. Pretty even for the most part. Well, you need to be very loosely tutored, because if you want to be the future of the Gupta, think of it like my ancestors, of what they went through during the turmoil. So it's 6 traits. It's too many. One's got to be removed. Unless erudite's a separate thing, like stubborn, where they're unremovable. I've lost trusting. Good. Didn't want that perk. Whereas meanwhile, I'm trying to work on being, deceitful. Which is alright. I mean, a little trickery. My Marshal Rajat Singh has put forward a plan for experimentation with new military technology inspired by a supposedly brilliant inventor and engineer that he has recently befriended. All he needs is a little funding. Unacceptable. No, it's pointless. And plus, you're the Rajat Singh that I don't like in particular. Hey, I have a de jure claim for Kutsingana, huh? There's an idea. Where one is going after this to get this part. And if they can devastate the garrison there, then I will expand, because this is technically part of Bihar, Tirubukti area. Even though there is no resources here, but still. More land, more taxes, more income. There you have it. That's a heck of an idea. I am bent over the Mahabharat, trying to make sense of an especially cryptic passage, when a faint tap on the door breaks my concentration. I call for my visitor to enter. To my surprise, little Raja Ganesha's pale face peeks through the opening. Father, why are you hiding? I miss you. Come here, son, and we shall read the Mahabharata together. 60% chance that I would teach Raja Ganesha an important lesson for the Mahabharata, thus doing a valuable deed according to the Four Purusarthas. Or it could be a 40% chance that I would fail to teach him anything, thus wasting time which could have spent contemplating the Mahabharata. I don't know about you. Is it possible for a child to be too young to be reading the longest written epic in world history is the Mahabharata, which is used as a Hindu scripture, one of the holy scriptures? You know what? What if we just do this instead? I'm sorry, my great land. Come and sit on my lap. It takes time to comfort a child, delaying his progress somewhat. May never know that he'll become a close friend of mine, but instead he views me as a kind parent. didn't want him to read the Mahabharata because I don't want to take chances that he might become dull. The last thing I would want is my future heir to be a dull one. No. Not Mugget. So now they decided to go into seclusion. Here's someone I should spy. Somebody with very low intrigue. Compared to me. It'll be much easier. And don't forget about your plan to take Kutsinagara. I know that Adi Shankara was a paragon of temperance. However, I struggle to control my appetite. While in meditation, I was supposed to eat very simple food in small portions, but I'm growing weary. I cannot concentrate when my stomach rumbles like that. After a little treat, I shall return to my duties with doubled focus. This is gonna work. I waited until midnight before I made my way to the kitchens. I found some of my favorite treats in one of the pantries. After many days on the most dreary of diets, they tasted like the most delicious food I ever eaten. My appetite is satiated for now, and no one is wiser. That was exactly what I needed. Really? Intervening. Oh, thanks. That great income from the tannery. See if we can get another one. Because typically they come in twos. I've spent the entire day saying mantras in deep concentration. During the first hours, I noticed nothing out of the ordinary, though at some point I lost track of time and entered a dreamlike state. There was nothing but holy words passing through my lips, and they rang true as the sweetest music. Vishnu has shown me the light. More progress for this meditation. I saw it. Spy Master. Intriguing. But I haven't come up with any ambitions that would help me to pick up intrigue just a little bit. Well, what if I were to break that right now? I mean, I can go back to this anytime. Become Spy Master. Gain 1 intrigue. Okay, you got it. But the problem is, I am not going to be in Lakshmanavati when there's a disease hanging about. Well, actually, it's about to leave, so you're fine. Now, get back to what you were doing. You're fine. It'll be slightly easier now that I have additional intrigue. Just picked up the base a bit. So, like my new job. Today's been a day of new insights and revelations. In my seclusion, I had plenty of time to think about my actions, my life, and my place in this world. Things I'd never thought about before suddenly became so clear. Vishnu has once again shown me the light. I'll definitely complete this meditation by then. Serial killer found in Magat. The serial killer happens to be a nobleman terrorized the region sometime. However, a number of clever guards found a way to ambush him, and the man preferred death over being captured alive. Nevertheless, the locals are very much relieved at the turn of events. It used to be serene, but now it's peaceful. Ah yes, the Regent. What can I do for you? Keep looking. You'll be alright, I hope. Peace be upon you, Pandit Ramagupta. We are pleased with your progress during the time spent in contemplative seclusion. You have taken a great step on the part of the Four Purusarthas. I hereby declare your mission completed. You honor me, Archaya. Now I will become a guru. Need that karma to keep getting up there. Okay, they won the thing. As guru, I can invite a holy ascetic, and I can teach a virtue. Yes. I also forgot that I can give spiritual guidance while as a pendant, and since I have that too, which I can click on landed characters within a realm of relatives or fellow society members in order to remove one of their vices. I can only remove a vice that I don't have myself. "800 men. Good enough to take over this area that I have a de jure claim to. Yes, we could take it over very easily. And I do have one ally from all the way up to Vraka. Never thought I would be fighting a war, but I don't want to take command personally. Just head straight across. Chandranaria, you're the man of the job. We'll be there 3rd of May, this 21st of May. You're only against a small number. You'll do fine. Rather premature. Just wait for the others. Reinforcements will arrive shortly. Oh, it seems you got this, okay, without the help of commanders. We got him. Become new liege. I'd rather have that land for myself, honestly. Brilliant victory. We have to wait for the Crown Authority of the Heart to be raised, so that I will have the ability to evoke titles. So now I have to keep an eye on this man. Speaking of which, at least he's locally here, so spy on that man instead. As I said, I need to get that deceitful trait and also be an amateur schemer. See too if I could organize a smuggler operation, another source of income. That could help. Let me teach you something, son, as you have become curious as of late. My home over there in Patliputra, based on those stories I told you about its glory, it ain't what it used to be. Bihar ain't what it used to be. The good old days are long gone. And that's the reason why one day I will retire, renounce the world. And you'll be a sannyasi when the children are grown up. That's what I aspire to be. Tradition faction. That's what he came up with. What tradition? Good relations to members? Not happening. Winning religious wars, indulges in charity? Doubtful. Where do you think I would get my source of money from? My spies have revealed that Count Jayaditya of Kutsinagar is behind a plot to take revenge on Sri Mitra Devi. And intercepted a message between him and one of his supporters. So I have proof of their plan in my very hands. Attempt to blackmail the Count. I picked up the sequel. And I got rid of, oh gosh, what was that trait that I used to have? Zealous. Lost Zealous. Which was a necessity. My creative spy master discreetly suggested he's willing to help me the finding dirt in Pratapadnaranoi in order to gain political leverage to further my goals. If I gain the upper hand over this counselor, he will owe me a favor forever. While he's in the council, I will be able to manipulate him as I wish. No, I am above these tricks. Plus, I need to keep kind because it's another one of those virtues that's needed for the Advaita Matha. And plus, they never said anything about being zealous for the devotion. They don't care if you're zealous or not. I will not first succumb to blackmail. I'd rather face embarrassment having my plot exposed than giving you a single coin. Fine by me. If you choose to rebel, well then, we're just gonna make sure that your tower gets evoked. Unless you want to get captured in action again. But we got you where we want 'em. But I can't revoke his title, because I don't have the law for that yet. Because the crown law of Bihar has to be at least limited. And plus, he's still in the Regency, so it's kind of impossible. It's just we found a plot, and he won't stop that. Sometimes it pays to be the spy master. Also, remember, organized smuggler operation. Yes? To the Honorable Rajkumar Ramagupta. Blessings upon you and your house. We propose that Rajkumar Vakapala of the Pala Kingdom to become the guardian of the mentor little Rajaganesha Gupta, so he can be raised as a proper Bengali Buddhist. No. He's my son, and he's gonna remain Hindu. Now we could start making some real money with these castle towns. One day, blackmail him again. He probably won't accept it. Against the will of the ever-conservative religious authorities, the great Rajat Singha, my marshal, has been planning vast changes on the way my troop movements are staged and determined. Better equipment will be assigned to them, a logistics system will be implemented, and as these plans come to fruition, I can expect a significant increase in the military tech of my domain. I don't have the money for that, so I'm not the one footing the bill. Though I curse your name, I will comply with your unfair demand. Just keep this sensitive information to yourself. Yeah, just curse all the way. Where has all the stability gone? It used to be such a peaceful place. And I don't want to appoint a domain overseer until I get the money. It doesn't matter what you think of me. Actually, yeah, Kingdom of Bahar applies to here. What makes you think you want to get rid of him? Because we know you want to be. Keep looking. Save a little money. Don't go for the smuggler operation right now. An event might come up and you may have to spend on something. Plus, it's just us in a city. That's it. Nothing else. There are a few monasteries close by, where the lay members of the Advaita Matha frequently convene. As such, it is expected that I, every so often attend these meetings, so that I spend a fair amount of time at these monasteries to get in touch with the monastic foundations of the order. Such a period is about to start. I will fulfill my duties, as expected. I have an artifact? Oh yeah, the book. Want me to go meditate again? Sure. It's been a while. Ramagupta. Go for thrift. Since women are not allowed to have a martial education. Now I've been at a monastery for a few days. I'm surrounded by others who share my passion for Brahma, and yet I still find I miss having a friend. Pandit Shivaraja and myself seem to be getting along quite well, though perhaps this could blossom into a true friendship if we did something together. I'm sure he would greatly enjoy. Nice man. Discuss the intricacies of managing a realm. Only because if he enjoys this activity, it might lead to a friendship. Perhaps it's related to his education. Here it is. Now it's time. Decided to go ahead with the setup of Smuggler's Ring with the help of my spy master. Success is not guaranteed, however. It depends on your intrigue education, which I don't. But I do have deceitful. Not greedy nor brave. My intrigue stat is average. Competent. Not honest, not craven, not just, not charitable. And spy master helping me, his stewardship stat also plays a role. I didn't give it a good look at it. I assume bad. No, average. We can make it happen. It'll take time. Raja Shivaraja has truly enjoyed my suggestion, and we become close friends. We regularly seek out each other during our free time. I'm starting to notice it affects my focus on my monastic duties. 50% chance to get rid of Shy, and you won't have much problems anymore. Let's spend more time with Shivaraja. What's the harm? It is not as we're doing anything unnatural. I no longer find it hard or awkward to talk to people. I've lost the shy trait. I've become personable these days. Oh, don't worry. I got it all figured out. I know what this passage of the Mahabharata says. Once again, the wisdom of Vishnu is infinite and indisputable. There's room for one more trait now. My wish to become a better Hindu has led me to the Four Purusarthas. Once I used lie and deceit to get out of trouble and fulfill my desires. Following the path of Adi Shankara has taught me better. Praise be Vishnu. Okay, 3 traits then. But I still may get it back because I'm still trying to get to schemer, not just amateur. Trying to give this guy the works. Happy that I'm no longer shy. Krishnaroy, my upadhyaya, is insinuating politely that I can learn further in a wide array of subjects and be much more efficient if I spent some time each day taking lessons about the classical period from him. However, I place myself in the position of a student. That is not good for my prestige. On the other hand, improving in my knowledge is tempting. Gee, I don't know. Let me see. I have a high learning stat, high learning education. I'm erudite. Yep, go for it. I'm willing to place the effort. Learning about the classical period. Yep, I would like to learn the days of the Gupta Empire. My pujari always talks about the importance of charity. I do give alms to the poor on a regular basis. However, I often feel reluctant when doing so, and it brings me shame. While in meditation, I had plenty to think about this. Perhaps I should try to be more charitable? Huh. Thanks to this book that I compose. To better understand the plight of others, I must seek out new perspectives. Improved chance of overcoming the vice for good, or you fail terribly to overcome the vice. My own book that I've composed. This may help me. Meanwhile, success. After months of planning the whole smuggler operation and contacting shady individuals, Ranjit Singh reported the smuggler's ring is in operation abroad. Excellent. Large smuggler operation. This will definitely help. That's not from the smuggler, that's the tannery. Remember, you're saving your money for this castle town. The cook had prepared for a magnificent meal, with lots of different fruits, various kinds of meats, and plenty of freshly baked and bread, several mature cheeses. Hey, I'm trying to be meditating here, but I'll satisfy my hunger with bread and water. Moderation is the key. Temperance is good. The confessions of Rajkumar Ramagupta is still on my mind. When one of my servants cautiously inquires whether I wish to make a donation to the local Matha, my first reaction is reluctant. But out loud I say, yes, of course. Perhaps this is the first step towards freeing myself from desires for material possessions. The money will come to good use, I am sure. Through perseverance and concentration, I managed to defeat my sinful nature and maintain seclusion. Didn't become charitable. There are many places who all ascribe the manner of ill omens to black cats. That saying one is pointed at death. Today I just happened to come across a stray black cat. I fear no cat, even it looks sweet. What are the cats, excuse me. This is for you Indian viewers watching, and I know most of you are Hindus. What do the Hindus view about cats? Are they good? Are they bad? I know the Zoroastrians view cats are bad, but they has some good in it, but it has, let's just say, positive, negative perception. That's the word I'm looking for. Not good or bad. Positive, negative. Do the Hindus view cats positively or negatively? Just curious. Just a little question. If you got something to say about it, please add it in the comments here. But then again, I have a habit of looking it up myself, because I love to do research on things. So, again, I fear no cat. I might become brave. Or I might become trusting again. Though I feel a little strange feeling, as if something isn't right. As you get a good look at that cat. Didn't pick up either trait. Perhaps there's going to be payoff at the end of it. Please let me meditate. Stop thinking about cats. My wish to become a better Hindu has led me to the Four Purusarthas. Since I joined the Advaita Matha, I have practiced charity. Yet it was not until today I realized I was truly glad to let go of my personal possessions. Helping those in need is truly fulfilling. Even more diplomacy. Told you. Master of persuasion. Hesitant about becoming charitable? Now I am. I am a good person after all. Well, the intrigue had its uses. Able to form a smuggler operation. Gives me a tidy income. You honor me, Archaya. One day, I'll become Archaya, just like you. There are other Archayas. Prince Dhruva, Thakur Anantavarman, Thakur Kadaya. And now I'm back to being humble again. So I've noticed that my sense of ego and the need for recognition has all but vanished. This all changed to help me focus on things which really mattered. Praise be Vishnu. Too many positive traits, so one of them's gotta go. If I was you, I would get rid of kind. There you go. That's what I wanted. And more money. Wait a couple of months. Thanks to the smuggler operation, we make 5 a month. I have decided to take Raja Ganesha along with me today as I preach to the people about Vishnu and how they should try to live their lives according to the Four Purusarthas. Raja Ganesha has attended throughout, and I'm sure he's learned some valuable lessons about Vishnu and Advaita Matha today. He's an excellent student, so he could pick up some learning in Intrigue, so it's 3 and 3 on learning in Intrigue, so pay attention. 2 and 2. Not switching that intrigue focus until they tell me to switch to theology. Going after Jaka. The Pala Kingdom hasn't done much ever since they lost that war with the Ayuda. Good enough. And when you get your nice tidy income, significant improvements. It is with enthusiasm that I spend part of my afternoons every day with my Upadhyaya in order to improve my general knowledge by studying the classics. Says that my improvements are good. Improving is the condition of the human being. I'm a good pupil for 5 years. +1 on everything. As I was saying, when you get a lot of money again, start building military buildings like a militia training ground, barracks and stable to prepare for the future. A future that I will not take part of. Winds of change. The conditions for my smuggler operation abroad have changed, which means also a change in the income this source provides me. Boom times ahead. Money will flow freely. Very large smuggler operation. Told you, it had its uses. Well on my way. My spies have recently overheard Count Jayaditya saying some rather unflattering things about Baku Ragudev of Gaya, considering that the Baku Ragudev also has no love for him, and it might be possible to inflame a rivalry between the two without anyone being the wiser. No, don't risk it. Intrigue's not high enough. If I was of an intrigue education and all that, I would do that. Stirring the pot and stuff. Perhaps I should spy one of my courtiers. It's easier. While casually strolling around the premises as one often do, I've come across Baku Ragudev sitting at his desk, overburdened with work. I see this as a great opportunity to help him out and gain a favor in your return. But to my surprise, he not only refuses my help, but has the nerve to insult me for it. Huh? Good luck with that work of yours. Idiot. Prude. I spent some time investigating one of my liege's vassals, and I feel that I've gathered enough information to gain a leverage that would discourage the vassal from supporting conspiratorial factions in the future. You know, in this line of succession, you are alone. And you don't have good education, but you are brave nonetheless. But I tell you what if I were to make you the new liege? We can get along together. Yes. What if I was the regent? No. I think it would be better to get rid of the child. He's far too young, and it's going to take an eternity and a half. And if we put Vakapala in the Pala throne, and then... No, bad idea. Just use your words, man. No, too young. Look, I'll be willing to have a plot to kill. But if I happen to be a murderer, so be it. If anybody wants in on this, good. I need at least one backer. I mean, I don't want to go murder myself. That'll give me cruel and arbitrary. And none of the traits says anything about that. I don't want to be an assassin. Excuse me. It's assassin. I have an idea. Is she still there? Yeah. Stupid idea. Bring her over here. Now, Debbie. I've been hearing some things about you. I know I have a vow of celibacy, but we could cooperate. Because I was about to say, I mean, if I set her aside, she'll be mad at me. And take the vows? That's a stupid idea. You can't kill the woman. Even sometimes I wish she's my wife instead of this one, which she's done me a lot of good. But truth is that what if I send her to be a concubine to Vakapala, which, you know, he owes me a favor. Favor? Vakapala. He's not here. These are all landed characters. One's a physician. Can't offer him a concubine because he's too young. What I was trying to do is how to get her into their court. Start screwing around over there. Well, you'll be remaining here for a time. The one who's most willing is him. Today it is raining, yet the sun is still shining. Amazing sight. Yeah, why not? Again, you're the assassin. I hired you here because you could be for some use to me. One day. May never know. And hope you don't plot to kill me despite our differences, but she knows I'm a virtuous person. She knows I'm a Master Diplomat. She'll respect me. And that means she could back whatever plots that people come up with her here. I've been informed that Ramagupta got into a fight with the blacksmith's girl. Apparently the girl had stolen a toy. As she chased her, Rani was beaten by that little girl. What a humiliation. My child is weak. I can't be the father of that. I fear Leelavati wasn't being honest with me. That's not going to look good on the patrol office. We could have a non-aggression pact. Are you on the council? Steward, right. The hidden hand. Lately, it's become apparent that my spouse is trying to manipulate me and assume control more and more matters about the management of my realm. While everything might be just a wrong impression, she seems to be in a league with one of the counselors. Rajat Singha and the pair can hinder my own capabilities in running my domain. I don't think I could trust you on that task. Let me see. If I try this option. I'm not paranoid. I do have some intrigue but no education. Used to be deceitful. Not ambitious, content, trusting on... Spouse's traits, kind, charitable. She's charitable, patient. And the opinion of me. Oh, blast. Wish I was still deceitful. But I don't think I could trust his capabilities. Well, she still likes me. In a way. But I don't want to be trusting again. Or better yet. Just simply wait. I'll spy on my own... God blast it. I'll spy on my own wife. There's something screwy going on here. I don't want to spy on the assassin because she has high intrigue, and it's going to be hard to discover something from her. A wise choice. After some stressful moments, it became clear that my Leelavati was not attempting to scheme against me. It became apparent my wise decision to avoid a confrontation with her or involving any counselor in the matter. Oh, excellent. That's a sigh of relief there. Also, don't do that. River flooding. Again, we make a lot of money thanks to that smuggler operation. It was well worth the investment. Now they're bringing everybody en masse to stop a peasant revolt. I came across the assertion written by Ramagupta, and though it is well written, I have ideas how it could be approved. I will send a letter to explain how he could approve. How much? Fine. Hopefully we'll get the money from the tanneries. The income is fine, but will soon be improved upon. But from now on, you're saving your money on these. The most notable thing my spies have reported about the Rani Ladavati is her lack of regard for the Hindu faith. Indeed, her cynical comments are well known. Thus, it will be a simple matter to inflame the rumors and ruin her reputation further. Well, do spread the rumors. I find it curious that the Hindu priests are constantly pestering Thakur, no matter what the promise is to do, no matter how much money bestows to the Hindu church. Oh, he's got no money and he's infection. He's got a... Oh man, what happened to you? I'll just say, I know what he could do. You're a lunatic. Do whatever you want. Do what you gotta do. He's also picked up conscience. They're good to have, you know. I really hope you become shrewd one day. Still being invaded by Mongols, which honestly I hope they win so they can replace this guy who hates Indo-Aryans like us. They got him. Not a religious debate. I will win this debate. And did it again. At its highest. I am 60 years old now. And well on my way to become Archaya. This will take a couple of more years and then I'll become Archaya, which means teacher. Raja Ganesha Gupta is so tall and handsome. I'm so proud. I shall get him a proper match to pass on the genes. Wow. Guess you got it from Lilavati. So that ups his personal combat and attraction. A little bit of diplomacy and a little bit of health. What have they been up to? Against Cherry Raj. And he's also in the defense. Claim this area. As I stated before, we're going to get rid of this young Maharaja. Put this man in. As he owes me a favor, which means when we get him in, we can try to Yes, support you any way we can. Thakur Narayanapala of Magad has arrived unexpectedly at Lakshmanavati, asking for an audience. I suspect the man attempts to convince me to join his glory faction. And indeed, when I meet at the gates, he is all smiles and eager to discuss business. What should I tell him? It's for glory, right? It's prestige and spoils of war. I'll enjoy a pleasant meeting, but promise him nothing. I'd rather join a court faction, because this strives for vassal autonomy and influence. That's what I need. More autonomy for the rest of us. And sooner or later we gotta get rid of this unruly vassal. An invitation arrived from Raja Bursara of Shuaraj, calling all members of our faction to assemble at Santagrama. Over here. This would also be the time to consider whether to call a vote to Raja Bursara's impeachment as faction leader. Let's just get on with the meeting. I'm not here for the impeachments. I just got here. A lot of people owe me favors, including the two Rajat Singhas. Speaking to the assembled lords, Raja Bursara denounced the misrule of the Maharaj, complained how all of our rights and liberties were being taken away. However, his self-serving arguments failed to capture the audience and only managed to further increase our loyalty to the Maharaj. Okay. Upset with that decision. You've done screwed up. Now we can get to work. Theology focus is what you want, you're gonna get it. That's what I've been waiting for. As I'm still an amateur skimmer. Should I really try? Okay, let's spy one more person. The assassin herself. We'll end the episode soon. Because I really want the third episode to be, you know, as his reign continues. And then we'll see Raja Ganesha grow up much further as he's a tall person. Not a giant, but tall. It's taller than average. Much like a difference between tiny and dwarf. $7 gold a month. Most of it thanks to the smuggler operation. Very happy. I tell you what. Get this building built right now. Faster. It'll be till this May. Because we want to invest in the future. You know, for our own protection. Especially against that man who needs to go down one day. But first we have to get rid of him. So Vagapala can be an adult ruler because we need responsible adults in the throne. That's right, I said responsible adults. Decided to take Rani with me today to preach about to the people about Vishnu and how they should try to live their lives according to the Four Purusarthas. Rani has said this throughout, and I'm sure she's learned some valuable lessons about Vishnu and Advaita Matha today. 3. It is raining heavily today. I sit by the window. gazing outside. I love rain. It is so healing. I already have the 2 traits anyhow. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll close the episode on that note, which is, again, this episode's largely been about just peaceful meditation and some spying. A traveling poet who calls himself a bard arrived today. He could stay as long as he likes. And then we'll spy this one more person if there's anything on him. I found out that Mahipala introduced the bard of the court and told him how much he appreciated that. Finally, someone who could sing. I'm a magnanimous person. Even more karma. Okay, let's end it with this. On the road, my entourage and I come across a Hindu holy man. Dressed in robes, he is kneeling on the ground, looking at nowhere in particular, as he chants some prayers. After he finishes, I ask him what he was doing, and he explains that recently a woman died here in an accident. She was a poor woman with no family, so this holy man out of compassion gave her a modest but dignified funeral. He hopes her spirit will find peace with Brahma. How noble. May we join you in praying for her spirit, because I'm a guru, soon to be our child in the future. And so we did. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, as Ramagupta is 61 years old, and Raja Ganesh Shah is 10 years old, and... Okay, you know what? Let's end it with this. Seeing the cook's son fall from the tree, at a flash of inspiration. Children are such foolish and clumsy creatures. How tragic if the Maharaj were to fall off the parapets. I know the perfect man for the job. He will try his wings next month. Let's see the conclusion already, come on. Write yet another letter to him. Success! It seems little Maharaj of the Pala kingdom had not yet learned how to fly. He died a quick and presumably painless death. Check it for lunch today, I think. Still had it with me, so gotta put it to some use. And I don't think there's anything on her, despite the fact that she's a bit of a weird scholar. What do you mean I provoked you? We'll improve relations with him in the next episode. And then this building will be done. And then we'll be making more money to use the said money to build more military buildings so we can have more levies to protect ourselves. And we hope for, you know, the best. And also, by the way, he's not crowned, so if he has money to spare, I'll be sure to attend the coordination ceremony, otherwise we're gonna have problems. And we hope we don't get problems in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.